Hey BC, how's it spinning? It's been a while and I haven't been that active or really active at all in the community, and it's mostly because budget and finances for things like records not really in the cards, so to speak. But I have been continuing to buy stuff, just not in the numbers that you'd be able to do a video and showing one record for a whole video unless you're doing a spotlight on it. I didn't really want to do anything like that, but I've still been buying, and with what's going on currently, one of the outlets that I buy from has been running sales, I think the entirety of the month, and with those prices I was able to buy a few things and get enough in a single bundle to be able to do a video and combine it with some other stuff. So that's what I will be showing today. It's not going to be a surprise for the most part what I'm going to show. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you kind of get the gist of it. There might be one or two, maybe. Uh, you know, you'll just have to wait and see. First up is a Blackened Recordings reissue of Garage Days, and this was a Christmas gift. I already had an original copy of this, but it was a gift, so I wasn't going to say no. And actually, although I haven't had the opportunity to open up and listen to this version, this is the first Blackened Recordings album on CD or vinyl that I actually have. I bought, I think it was Ride the Lightning on CD for somebody, but I didn't hear that version because it was a gift. I doubt that there's any real difference between older pressings and these ones. Of course, I'm no audiophile, so I wouldn't even remotely claim to be an expert, but it's probably all the same stuff that they've released for years and years and years. But nevertheless, I'm not going to say no to Metallica of this era. Here's another one that I already had. This is a reissue from Century Media of Bonded by Blood from Exodus. This is limited, I think, less than 2,000, I think. Gatefold poster, all that kind of thing. Already have this, but this was on sale, and I'm not going to say no to this album because I consider this the best thrash album of all time, and that will shock some people. But yes, this is my favorite thrash album of all time. And I did say that with a straight face. Another one that I already have, this was a backup copy. This is the Capitol Records 2008 reissue of Rust in Peace. Nothing needs to be said. But found it on sale. I bought this version, not this copy, but this version of the album when it originally released, and I did that because the CD reissues at the time that were the most recent were, and might still be currently, specifically for this album, were the 2004 reissues where they mucked everything up. And so after buying Countdown to Extinction from that remaster series and then finding out what they did with this one, I wasn't going to buy any more. And didn't really feel like tracking down an original copy or an older issue on CD, like eBay or other places like that, because I'd already done that with Peace Sells and a few other albums, and I just didn't want to do that again. But that's definitely a really good sounding album. But of course, the original is much better. But like with Ozzy's No More Tears and the Black Album, an original pressing or subsequent pressings from the era, those are extremely hard to find in the United States. I looked for a number of years, and you can find them in Russia, you can find them in other parts of Europe, Japan, China, for ridiculous amounts of money, and of course ridiculous shipping. So I wasn't even going to attempt. This is Disturbed Believe. This is the second album. This is a picture disc. Picked it up cheap. It was also on sale, and so I figured, what the hell. Had this one for a while. It's Alive from Monsters of Rock in Santiago, Chile, on the Seasons tour, but with bootlegs. Obviously, that is not a picture from 91. That's from the era of... Actually, no, it's not. This is from, according to the date on this, this is from 2019. So this picture would be about 10 years before that. This is the World Painted Blood era. And so this is rather interesting. You can see the full concert on YouTube, and this is particularly interesting since this is the country that my mother was born in, so that adds just some personal history for me. She didn't attend a concert because she wasn't there at the time. Here's another live one. This is Monsters of Rock in Argentina, 94. Another limited. This is number 62 of 1,000. And I'm always adding. Here's another one, God Listens to Slayer, which became an inside joke. Um, uh, Specifically for me and the people that I know, but it had already been. Um, this is one of 300. It's on black, but I wasn't able to find out any more information on it. What tour, where it was recorded, or anything like that. This is the Repentless Trilogy double live album from the Forum. This is red, black, and orange. And oh, I don't feel like getting it out right now, but this was one of at least 5, maybe more color variants that were available through Nuclear Blast. Not all of them were available worldwide. The colors that interested me were European exclusives, and so I settled on this color because I thought it looked the best. I also got it on CD and all that jazz like I do with those releases. And I actually did. I saw them 3 times on their last tour. At the start, at the end of the tour, which was their actual last show, and I have the evidence to prove that. And I saw them in the middle. All good shows, as usual. This is the soundtrack to Red Dead Redemption 2. As some of you may have guessed, I am into gaming. And I also have the soundtrack for the original game that I bought probably about a decade or so ago now. I can't believe I just said that, but it is true. And I just decided to add this one to the soundtracks collection, and since I had the first one. This is Transparent on Red. It's a double album cut at 45 RPM. And yeah, I prefer the first game, although it'll be blasphemous. I didn't really like this game as much, but the music was outstanding. So I decided to buy it. And keeping with the theme, here's the score for the same game. This is on clear, and it's another double. I'm not sure if this is done at 33 or 45. It doesn't say, so I'd have to look it up. But there you go. Whoops. And in keeping with the Western theme, this is a selection of Marconi's soundtrack songs from a lot of the most famous movies and stuff that he's done. This is all westerns. I pre-ordered this as soon as I found out about it, and there's a selection of what's on it. This is a double album on Gunsmoke Silver, limited to 3,000. And I had to, when I first found out about it, I had to. It was a no-brainer, because his music is incredible, and the movies that the musics are a part of are some of my favorites, and so I couldn't resist. And finally, the new one from Testament. This is Titans of Creation. This is one of 500 on blue. They also have this in black, but this is the blue variant. And I love thrash, I love Testament, and so new album, and I'm gonna get it. So there you have it, VC. Some new stuff, some older stuff, some stuff I've held on for a little bit. Sort of been more active on my other channel, but I'm not abandoning this one. Just, you know, it's kind of the way it is. I hope everybody's safe, and I will see you next time.